Conclusion: Spider-Man 2 has the potential to rise above the disappointments of the past year and provide players with a truly outstanding gaming experience. Its captivating story, innovative gameplay, breathtaking visuals, and immersive sound design and music, coupled with Insomniac's commitment to excellence, make it a strong contender for the best game of the year. With all that said, in a stunning display of fan support, Marvel's Spider-Man 2 has emerged victorious in IGN's community-driven poll, clinching the title of Best Video Game of 2023. This triumph, resulting from over 1.2 million votes, marks a significant achievement for Insomniac Games' latest superhero adventure in a year brimming with exceptional video game releases. The competition was fierce in IGN's poll, conducted in partnership with the United States Air Force. Fans engaged in a vigorous voting battle on IGN's Instagram, choosing from a roster of 32 outstanding games released in 2023. Marvel's Spider-Man 2 faced off against formidable contenders, including Baldur's Gate 3 and Alan Wake 2, in a series of nail-biting rounds. The climactic matchup pitted Marvel's Spider-Man 2 against the highly acclaimed The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. Despite IGN's editorial team awarding The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom as their official best game of 2023, the community's voice was clear. Marvel's Spider-Man 2 won a decisive 64% of the votes, sealing its victory over Link's latest epic quest. It began with an overwhelming 97% victory over Exoprimal, and continued its winning streak against Baldur's Gate 3, which had garnered the Game of the Year award at the Game Awards and several IGN awards. Spider-Man 2's victory over Baldur's Gate 3 with 70% of the votes was a testament to its widespread appeal. The game then triumphed over Alan Wake 2, securing 75% of the votes, and proceeded to outmaneuver Star Wars Jedi: Survivor in the final four round. Despite not selecting Marvel's Spider-Man 2 as their official game of the year, IGN praised the title in their review, stating it delivers Insomniac's best tale yet, and lauding it as a reliably fun superhero power trip, even though they noted its open world fell short in comparison. Do you agree with the community's choice, or was there another title that captivated you more this year? We're curious to hear from you. What was your personal game of the year for 2023? Was it the web-slinging action of Spider-Man 2, the fantasy adventure of Zelda, or perhaps a dark horse that stole your heart? Next, let's talk about how Insomniac leaks highlight a major issue with the gaming industry. Earlier this week, a ransomware group hacked Insomniac Games, the developer behind Marvel's Spider-Man, stealing info on a slate of upcoming projects, in-development clips, and employees' personal information. The group held the info ransom, which Sony refused to pay, and all that data has now been released onto the web. It's a disappointing situation that puts hardworking developers at risk, and yet again plays into a strange obsession many have with leak culture. Over the years, leaks have become more prevalent in video games, leading to situations like this, where hacking groups deliberately attack a company and hold info for ransom. The truly sad part is that reinforces why the industry has become so secretive, undermining efforts to make game development less mysterious. For as big as the gaming industry has gotten, there's still very little that your average consumer knows about the way games are made. Games typically go from announcement to release, with only trailers and scattered interviews filling up that time. Seldom do we see behind-the-scenes footage that dives into the nitty-gritty of how these massive projects come together, and how different departments like animation, level design, or quality assurance all contribute to the larger whole. There are, of course, some exceptions to this. Documentaries like the Double Fine Psychodicy do detail how the sausage is made, so to speak, and even this year's The Making of Karateka is a brilliant way to both preserve and chronicle a classic game. But by and large, companies always want to keep things secret before release, then rarely get into detail post-launch because it's already on to the next project. Incidents like the Insomniac leak only reinforce the idea that game development should be kept secret. The big problem is that leaks like this display games in an unfinished state, completely not representative of what a final product will look like. Game development is a process, and it's entirely unfair to developers to share in-development footage that doesn't represent a studio's vision. The exception, of course, is if the developers feel like they want to show footage and information long ahead of release. The crux of the issue, though, is that these leaks make it harder and harder for developers and studios to feel that way. When leaks become a gotcha moment that hackers strive for and consumers pile on, why would a studio want to share anything? That, in turn, could potentially take away opportunities for content creators and media as access to a game gets stripped away or altered, and plans have to change because of leaks. In the case of Insomniac, it's even more egregious because of the personal information that was stolen. 2023 has been a hard year for people who make video games, with over 10,000 layoffs across the industry, including at a support studio for Insomniac called Visual Arts. It's easy to see how making games would feel difficult and thankless at this point, but having personal info and studio projects leaked on top of that is like salt in the wound. Video games is one of the few industries with this obsession with leaks. People aren't chomping at the bit to read pages out of the next Dan Brown novel or hear a verse off of Taylor Swift's next track. It's a regressive idea that only furthers the gap between those who make games and those who play them, and provides more fuel for the corporatization of the industry. And speaking of hacks and leaks, the hacker behind GTA6 leak will be confined to a secure hospital for life due to his intent to return to cybercrime as soon as possible. The 18-year-old hacker charged with breaking into Rockstar's data and leaking at least 90 videos worth of GTA6 development materials has been sentenced by a UK court to indefinite life in a hospital prison. The BBC reports that Arian Kurtaj, who is described as acutely autistic, will remain at a secure hospital for life unless doctors deem him no longer a danger. This is notably distinct from a sentence of life in prison, which doesn't always run until the actual end of one's life either, but his sentence is still effectively indefinite. A mental health assessment noted that he continued to express the intent to return to cybercrime as soon as possible. He is highly motivated. In July, Kurtaj was deemed psychiatrically unfit for trial, shifting the jury's focus away from a standard verdict of guilty or not guilty, and toward determining whether the alleged hacks were actually committed. Not a month later, we learned that Kurtaj's hack on Rockstar was carried out in a hotel room, well after his laptop was confiscated following a previous hack, using an Amazon Fire Stick, a hotel TV, and a mobile phone. He was quickly rearrested. Kurtaj was accused alongside a 17-year-old member of the same hacking group, Lapsus, who was likewise accused of blackmail, fraud, and charges under the Computer Misuse Act. Rockstar was far from Lapsus' only target, with Nvidia to Microsoft to phone companies reporting hacks. In addition to thousands of hours of staff time, the BBC reports that Rockstar claimed the hack cost them $5 million. This case brings to light several crucial lessons. 1. The rigorous legal consequences faced by hackers serve as a deterrent and a reminder of the legal boundaries guarding intellectual property and personal data. 2. The fact that large corporations like Rockstar can fall victim to cyber attacks emphasizes the need for robust cybersecurity measures across all industries. 3. Beyond legal ramifications, such incidents raise ethical concerns about the privacy and security of individuals and corporations, urging a re-evaluation of digital ethics in the modern age. Is the GTA Trilogy Definitive Edition Netflix version worth the investment? The straightforward answer is yes. Netflix is gradually helping revolutionize the mobile gaming scene, and the inclusion of GTA Trilogy Definitive Edition is undoubtedly a welcome move. But first, you must understand how Netflix's version of the game works. The online streaming service offers the GTA Trilogy on mobile for all its subscribers free of cost. This means you can access the titles simply by subscribing to any of the monthly plans offered by Netflix. However, you should note that installing the game via this method doesn't get you a permanent license. You will be eligible to play GTA Trilogy on Netflix as long as you have an active subscription. Once your subscription is over, the streaming service will not let you access the game. This method should benefit gamers who prefer testing things out before making a final purchase, meaning you can try the game using a Netflix subscription. And if you like it, you can purchase the full version from the Google Play Store or Apple's App Store. Even if you don't want to buy the full game, you can continue playing the Netflix version by renewing your subscription. The streaming service's cheapest plan is $7 per month, giving you complete access to all 3 titles. On the other hand, Rockstar Games charges US $20 for each title of the GTA Remastered Trilogy. Thus, using your Netflix subscription to play the game on your mobile device is a smart and cost-effective choice. Rockstar Games has also introduced some changes to the mobile version of the Remastered Trilogy, such as enhanced graphics. While the game's console and PC versions face severe criticism, fans are praising the mobile version for adding some quality of life changes, especially the classic lighting mode. That said, until Rockstar Games rectifies the issues plaguing the title on console and PC, the Netflix version of the game is a must-try.